Hi, CC families. I just wanted to do a little music theory tin whistle um, review video for you so that if you're hoping to review um, some of the music theory that we've learned, you can do that at home as well. So, as we learn about music, we've learned what this is called. This is the staff. The five lines together are the staff. And this symbol over here is the treble clef. This tells us where our notes are, what exactly these notes are going to be on the staff, that they are in the treble clef, in the treble range. So we put notes onto the staff to tell us what notes to play on an instrument or what notes to sing if we're singing a song. And those notes can be on a line, like this first one is a line note, or in a space in between the lines, and that's a space note. Right? And we can put notes on any of the lines or any of the spaces, and they all correspond to a different pitch, a different sound that we can sing or play on an instrument. Pretty cool. It's like a code that we can read, and it's like a language to tell us for one musician to write a song and let another musician read it and play or sing. So every song, every staff has some numbers at the beginning, and that is called the time signature. I have my great big time signature here from our great big staff, and we're using the time signature 4/4. That means there are 4 beats in a measure, and a quarter note gets a beat. Everything that we do is going to be in 4/4 time signature. So 4 beats in a measure means that when we think about our music and our songs, each measure, that's the space between 2 bar lines in the music, is going to be 1 pi of 4 beats. Okay, and we have our different kinds of notes that go into those measures and fill up the pie. This is my pie, and the whole pie gets how many beats? 4 on my pie. And so the first note we're going to count and play and learn about is the whole note. A whole note gets the whole pie. Okay, this is 4 beats and gets the whole pie. And we play and count a whole note like this. Ta, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Our next note that we're going to look at is called a half note. A half note is a smaller oval with a stem, but the middle is open. And I have this pie divided into 2 parts because a half note takes half the pie. So a half note gets 2 beats. 2 beats plus 2 beats equals our whole pie of 4 beats. Okay? So we would count half notes like this. Ta, ta, or 1, 2, 1, 2. Or if you were counting through a measure, you would say 1, 2, 3, 4. And the clap is when you would play the note. And so those are each 2 beats. My next pie, our next type of note, is made like a half note except with the middle filled in. And this is called a quarter note because if we take our whole pie and divide it into fourths, fourths are also called quarters. Like 4 quarters make up $1, and 4 quarters of a pie makes up a whole pie. And so 4 quarter notes give you your 4 beats. Each one is 1 beat. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 4 beats. So quarter notes are played and counted right on the beat of the measure, like this. Ta, 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 ta. 1, 2, 3, 4. And play right on the beat. Finally, I've got a pie with lots of pieces, and I want to show you what these notes look like. These are like quarter notes, but with a tail or a flag hanging on them. And when 2 of these are together in music, those tails or flags connect up and they have a bar across when you have 2 of them together in a pair. But this is called an eighth note because there are 8 of them in the pie. It takes 8. They're even shorter than quarter notes. They're actually half of a beat, half of a quarter note each. But these are called eighth notes, and there are 8 of them in a pie. I'll stick this one on there so that my pie is complete, right? So you can kind of see, compared to the quarter note pie, each quarter of the pie is divided now into 2 spots. So 2 eighth notes is the same as 1 quarter. So we would play and count a measure of eighth notes like this. T, 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 T. Or 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. And that's a whole measure of eighth notes. Now we've got one more type of note, which is, remember what this note is a half note, but this one has a dot. And a dotted half note is a little longer than a half note. If you're into math, I'll tell you that the dot adds half of the note value onto the note itself. So a half note is 2 beats, half of that is 1 beat, so we add that 1 onto the original 2. But if you're not so into math, just remember that a dotted half note is 3 beats. But we also have dotted quarter notes and dotted eighth notes, and if you get far into music, you want to know that a dot adds half of the note's value onto the note. So 3 beats, and so I divided this pie so that we have just a quarter that is left out. This dotted half note takes up 3 out of the 4 beats. And we would count and play it like this. Ta. It's 3 beats. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so those are all of our types of notes, and how to count them and how to think about those as part of a measure. And then we're just going to review the names of the notes quickly. Let me put this behind here because I think you're seeing through it a little bit. So on our staff, the names of our notes, think about the name of the bottom line. Do you remember what it is? E. And in the musical alphabet, notes get higher on the staff as we go through the alphabet in order. So the line is E, the space is the next note, and that's F, and then G. And a trick to remember that is the treble clef curls around the G line over here. You see that? So G on the line, and then, A is in the space, B is the middle line, and then C, D, E, F is at the tippy top. You might have noticed that after G, in the musical alphabet, the next note is A. We just keep saying A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way up. As many notes, as many octaves as we want to go through. So A comes after G. Now there are a couple of tricks to remember line notes and space notes. For our lines, we can remember every, good, boy, does, fine. And the first letter of each of those words spells out the notes. So E, every, G, good, B, boy, D, does, F, fine. And for our space notes, they just spell the word face. So when a note is on a space, the names of the notes spell face. F, A, C, E. But if you know that the treble clef starts with E, you can certainly count through the alphabet as well. So when we put our different kinds of notes in different places on the staff, I can have an eighth note E down here, or I can have an eighth note B, or I can have an eighth note E way up here. And that's the way that we make music. We put different kinds of notes on different lines and spaces to tell us what pitch or what note to play. And then the type of note, whether it's a half note or a quarter note or an eighth note, tells us how long to hold it, and we figure out our rhythm. So that is most of the music theory that we've learned in weeks 7, 8, and 9. Hopefully that was a helpful review for you.